are enjoying your vacations. Okay, guys, we're going to start today. Today we're going to talk about a little about food and especially about breakfast. So I'm going to start with a question for Ingrid. What did you eat for breakfast today?
Today I took calentado de frijoles.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Huh.
It's I don't know how to say that. Typical food
Yes.
in this
Yes.
region about the region of coffee in Colombia. Um, we take this kind of food. We mixed some ingredients like I don't know how to say frijoles.
Beans.
Beans, yes. We mix beans, rice. Normally is the food of the last day, and we use this food in normally in the breakfast. We mix with eggs, and we mix the beans, the rice, and we put 1 or 2 eggs on the mix of beans and rice.
The eggs. What did you, or how did you take, or how did you eat your eggs? Fry it, scramble,
Fry,
right?
yeah.
I think that the traditional, most traditional way to take the eggs are fried, but sometimes people like to eat them scrambled. But
Scramble,
yes,
yes, also. You
with
can
with
put
the
also 1 or 2 arepas,
yes, yes.
and you take also to drink chocolate, hot chocolate
Okay. Chocolate with milk or no milk?
with milk.
Okay, you like chocolate with milk. Okay. So you ate a traditional or a typical breakfast. I suppose that here in all around Colombia it's very typical to take that kind of breakfast. But as you said, in the Eje Cafetero is or in Antioquia, it's very traditional. And if you go to any restaurant any day, you are going to find that breakfast calentado. Okay, what
Yes.
about you, Kiara? What did you eat for breakfast today?
Very simple, something simple like cereals.
Very simple. Did you prepare your breakfast?
Yes, I will like. I usually eat cookies. It was saltinas. I like those cookies, but in this moment, I wanted breakfast real fast.
Okay, and what did you drink?
I drink nothing, just cereals, but it could be chocolate. Sometimes I drink chocolate for my breakfast.
Okay, do you like chocolate with milk?
Yes.
Okay, and Samuel, you have just got up. I don't know if you have had your breakfast.
Today at my breakfast was soap, was hot chocolate, and bread
Okay, what soup?
with potatoes.
Potatoes, chicken, meat? No? Or-
No, only that.
Okay, only potato. Okay, And what did you eat? What did you drink? Sorry, what did you
The
drink?
hot chocolate.
The hot chocolate. Okay. You like chocolate with milk too?
No, only with
Only
water.
chocolate, no milk.
Yes.
Okay. And finally, okay, let me see, Santiago. What did you? Okay, Santiago was the person that has had a breakfast, or maybe you hadn't had your breakfast because you had just got up.
No, I did breakfast and I ate bread with some cheese and drink coffee.
Okay. You like coffee
Yeah, I like coffee without the sugar and milk.
without sugar?
Yeah, only coffee.
Okay. Only coffee, no sugar. No sugar, no milk. Okay. Okay, let's see. When I'm going to share my screen right now. Here, this one. And nowadays, when we go to a restaurant or when we stay at the hotel, we find American breakfast. We find on the menu the American breakfast. And Ingrid, what do you think, or when you heard that a restaurant offers an American breakfast, what ingredients or what food do you think about?
I think in the traditional breakfast with eggs, normally scrambled eggs, bread, and coffee, black coffee.
Black coffee. Okay. That's also what you think when somebody or when you see American breakfast. Okay.
Yes.
Kiara, what about you? Is there any other ingredients that you add to the American breakfast?
Or that I have in my house.
Yes.
Well, it could be a little complicated, but if I will say something like American breakfast, I would say pancakes or bacon, sauce, or jam, something like that.
Yes. No, I agree with you. American breakfast is food or is related to sausage, bacon, eggs, coffee, mm,
Toast.
toast. Yes. Okay. Here we have some ingredients in this picture that you can find in an American breakfast. The waffles, the donuts, pancakes, brownies, cereal. When we watch a movie, a series on TV, we always watch people taking cereal with milk in the breakfast. The muffins, the French toast, they are very traditional. Eggs and bacon. Yes, eggs and bacon. Sausage, scrambled eggs or fried eggs, milk, coffee, tea, orange juice, water, and something that we can add to the toast or to the pancakes or to the waffles, like or such as honey, jam, sugar, and maple syrup. No? Those are very, very traditional. Those are very traditional. When we want something salty with eggs and bacon, but when we want something with sugar, pancakes, cereal are our best option when we think about the American breakfast. We have here milk, coffee, tea, orange juice, and water. 5 beverage. Ingrid, what do you like the most among these 5 options? Milk, coffee, tea, orange juice, or water?
I prefer coffee.
Coffee. Black coffee
Yes. Black coffee without sugar.
without sugar. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day?
Beaucoup. Some days I take 6, 7,
6.
maybe even in the night I take a coffee.
And do you have any problems to sleep?
No.
Okay. Samuel, what beverage do you prefer?
Because
from
I
this list? Okay,
take
sorry,
my
continue,
coffee
Ingrid.
because of I take
I can hear you well, Ingrid. Ingrid, I don't know what happened with your microphone.
sorry, teacher, I lost my connection.
Okay. You were saying something about the coffee that they drink? Okay, so there is some technical issue. Kiara, what about you? What beverage do you prefer from this list? Milk, coffee, tea, orange juice, or water?
I would prefer water.
Water. How many glasses of water do you drink a day?
I have a bottle of water in my fridge, so every moment I'm focused to drink a little bit during the day, and I think I drink a lot of water until my bottle was completely empty.
Okay, but do you drink milk, coffee, tea, orange juice, or there is one of them that you don't like?
Uh, mm, I like all those meals, but I think orange juice I have never drank before. I have never drank before orange juice in my breakfast.
But why you dislike it?
I don't dislike that, but I have never tried it on my breakfast. I think that's more like American, but in United States or in another country, I think. In my case, I have never tried it.
Okay, Samuel, if you have to choose between coffee and chocolate, what do you prefer?
I prefer chocolate.
Okay, when you are going to eat your breakfast, what do you like? Something salty or something with sugar? Samuel? Samuel? No? No? Santiago?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, Santiago, when you're going to eat your breakfast, or for example, you are at home and you are going to prepare your breakfast, you're going to cook your breakfast.
Yeah.
Do you prefer to cook or to prepare something salty or something with sugar?
I think it could be the both at the same time. For example, pancakes with eggs, or I don't know, sausage, French toast.
Okay. I think that some food like pancakes or waffles are very traditional in the United States, and when we started to know the culture of that country, of other countries, we acquired that culture of eating pancakes or waffles because last century here in Colombia we didn't eat anything of that. But nowadays we can see too many people that like to eat cereal, pancakes, waffles. Do you like waffles or pancakes, Kiara?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. Do you eat them with honey, jam, sugar, or maple syrup, or so or alone?
I have eaten pancakes a few times in my life, but I usually try to eat it with oil. Oil, no. How is it?
Oh,
Honey.
honey.
Yes.
Okay, with honey. With honey. Sometimes we can have a salty waffles, no? Not
Yes.
only yes. We can add, I don't know, maybe a sausage or maybe chicken or maybe other things to the waffles. Okay, we are here. We have Erika. Good morning, Erika. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I am late because I had some technical problems, but I am okay.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Erika, today we're talking about a breakfast, and
Okay.
especially the American breakfast, but we started with a question, and I'm going to ask you that question. What did you eat for breakfast today?
Okay. Every day I eat eggs. In different ways, on chocolate, or sometimes tea, or sometimes and other times we have chocolate tea, coffee too, and bread, and some fruit, and no more.
No more. Okay. Do you usually eat fruit in the breakfast?
Excuse me?
Do you usually eat fruit in the breakfast?
Sometimes. It's not always, but sometimes I eat papaya.
Okay.
Or in the middle of the morning, I eat the fruit, like 9 a.m. I eat the fruit.
Okay.
But
yes.
in
Sorry.
the excuse me.
Yes, continue.
But in the breakfast I eat only the main product, the main meal is the eggs.
The eggs.
Yes,
How do you prefer the eggs? Scrambled, fried, poché? I
right,
don't know.
right.
Fried. Okay. And Erika, when you heard American breakfast, what do you think about?
When I analyze the American breakfast.
Yes, when you heard, for example, in a restaurant, on the menu, there is an option that says American breakfast. What do you think about?
But I think that is if we see all the American breakfast, excuse me, all the foods, the American food, I can say that the breakfast is the most healthy part of the American food because they have eggs and sometimes they eat bacon or cereal, depend of the cereal, but I think that is the best part of food they have in their food because I think the other foods than they have hamburgers, sausage, and hot dogs for dinner, and it's not healthy all time.
Okay. Yeah.
Frequently, it's not healthy for the body.
Samuel, do you think that breakfast is the most important meal of the day?
In my opinion, yes, because that is the first thing that we eat in all the day, and that's where we can take all the energy for the rest of the day.
Okay. We had too many diets. For example, keto and other diets. Santiago, have you been on a diet?
Have you what, teacher?
Have you been on a diet? When I say being on a diet, is to take a diet, no? Being or
no.
or to be on a diet. For example, I
No.
say I am on a diet. So we have to say the verb to be. To be on a diet, or have you been on a diet?
Oh no, I never been in the diets now.
Ingrid, have you been on a diet?
No, teacher, I never been in a diet.
On a diet.
On a
Okay.
diet.
I suppose you haven't had any weight problems.
Can you repeat me, please?
I suppose that you haven't been or you haven't had any weight problems.
That's right. I never had been any health or weight problem.
American people suffer a lot of weight problems. No? They suffer from overweight because of the type of food they usually take. Erica says that they sometimes pay attention to the breakfast, but they don't care the lunch and the dinner, and they have a lot of junk food. You know what is junk food? Yes, guys, you know what is junk food?
Is the unhealthy food?
Yes, when I say junk food, is the fast food. No? For example, hamburgers, hot dogs, pizza, wings. For example, in the United States, it's very traditional or very typical to eat fried chicken. No? Fried chicken, they like a lot. Okay, so these are some examples of food that you can find in American breakfast. But I'm going to ask you some questions. For example, Santiago, what is your favorite breakfast?
My favorite breakfast, it could be bread with some coffee and cheese.
And cheese. Okay. Where do you live, Santiago?
And Risaralda.
Okay, what is the traditional breakfast en el eje cafetero en Risaralda, en Pereira?
I think that it could be arepa with meat or with eggs.
Arepa, okay. I think that arepa is very traditional here in Colombia, and people say that arepa is healthy, no? It's healthy.
Yeah.
What about you, Samuel? What is your favorite breakfast?
Maybe eggs with meat or chicken, and it can be with 2 arepa and chocolate.
Exactly. Okay. And where do you live, Samuel?
Is panqueca.
Panqueo. What is the traditional or the typical breakfast there?
Maybe the soup of sorry, how is harina?
Flour.
Flour soup.
Flour soup?
Yes.
Sopa de harina?
Yes.
I don't know what's that. I don't know what's that. Is the flour soup. I don't know. It's in Boyacá, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. There in Boyacá, the traditional arepas, boyacense arepas are very delicious.
Yes,
Okay.
but in this side of Boyacá, don't sell much that arepas.
No?
No.
No. Kiara, what is the traditional breakfast where you live?
Tamales.
Tamales. Oh my
Yes,
God.
it's in Colima.
And today, here in Ibagué, we live in Ibagué, today is the Tamales Day. Yes, today is el Día del Tamal. We celebrate here in Ibagué el Día del Tamal. So you can find all around the city places where tamales are sold. So you can eat tamales all day and every day. Okay, here in Ibagué, you can find tamales every day. Do you like tamales? Kiara?
No, if I'm honest.
No, you don't like
No.
it?
No.
Okay. But you never take or you never eat tamales?
Yes, of course, I have eaten it, but I don't like it, if I'm honest.
Okay. And for you, what is your favorite breakfast?
My favorite breakfast, scrambled eggs, chocolate, cookies, and that's it.
Okay. Let's see, Ingrid. Ingrid,
Yes, I'm here.
what is your favorite breakfast?
Recently, I discovered the yuca waffles, and I became really fan. I take it with eggs, bacon, and sometimes with a touch of syrup or honey.
Okay. And did you cook the yuca waffles?
Yes, it's very easy. You can find the flavor at the supermarket, and I have the util the machine, the waffle machine,
Yes.
and it's very easy to make
Okay.
to
Now, what
prepare.
is it? Yes, what is the traditional breakfast in your city, Ingrid?
I live in Ibagué, also the tamal, the caldo de costilla, um, and the traditional la arepa with eggs and
Yes.
hot chocolate.
I think that all around Colombia, the most traditional breakfast includes eggs. I suppose it includes eggs because when you travel, you stop at the restaurant and you are always going to find eggs, no? In the breakfast. I think that's the most traditional. But sometimes in some departments, in some cities, you can find some kind of soups, some kind of special food like tamales. For example, here in Ibagué, in Tolima, you can find tamales in the breakfast. But the most traditional, I suppose, is eggs in all its presentation. Erika, what
Hi.
didn't or what don't you like to eat in the breakfast?
Fish.
Fish. Okay.
Fish. Soups.
Soups. Okay.
Some vegetables. No, I don't like to
You don't like some
eat
vegetables
for
in the
breakfast.
breakfast. Okay. You never eat fish.
Fish for breakfast? No.
Yes. Sometimes in the restaurant they offer fish soups, no? Kind of fish soup
Okay.
in the
Yes.
breakfast.
Yes.
In my case, I don't like fish. I don't like fish. In the breakfast, I don't usually eat meat. I don't like to eat meat in the breakfast.
Okay.
Santiago,
Yeah.
what is the most strange or the most weird breakfast you know?
I think that the changua.
Changua is very traditional in Bogota, yes?
Yeah, in Bogota.
In Boyacá too, right? No, maybe in Boyacá, but in Bogota, changua is a very traditional breakfast. And for me, I don't like it. I don't like it because I can't eat, especially the egg inside the soup. I don't like it. And sometimes they add toast, no? Toast to the soup, and I don't like that. Ingrid, have you ever taken changua?
Yes, I took many times because I live in Bogota, and at the beginning I hate it, but I learned to eat. I learned to like this plate.
There in Bogota is very traditional, right?
Yes, yes.
And did you eat that changua with eggs, toast, and what else?
Arepa.
Arepa. Okay.
Yes.
Does it
Always
have
with
does it
arepa.
have potatoes?
Always.
Always.
No,
Does it have
without potatoes. No,
No
without
potatoes?
potatoes. No potatoes.
Okay.
Always with
Okay.
arepa. And I
Yes.
love the eggs, so it's not a problem for me.
Okay. Okay. Eh, Erika, where do you live?
In Chia, close to Bogota.
Near Bogota. So I suppose you like changua.
Yes, but the egg, no. I like the changua. My perfect changua for me is the milk with onion. The changua contain onion and salt and the toast.
Toast. Okay.
Toast.
Yes.
That's it. No more.
No more. Okay. And changua is white because of the water, because of the milk, right?
Yes, changua contains milk, onion, large onion,
Large, yes.
and
Okay.
and the eggs, and toast or bread, and salt.
Okay. Santiago.
Yeah.
Santiago, if you are going to prepare your own breakfast, what is the food that you never add or you never prepare, you never cook the breakfast? Something that you don't like.
I don't know. Maybe boiled eggs.
Boiled eggs. You don't like it?
No, I don't like it.
Okay, but okay, eggs in all its ways or in all its preparations is very common to find in our breakfast, but you don't like that kind of eggs boiled.
Boiled,
But
no.
you like scrambled, fried.
Yeah, scrambled fried, yes, but boiled, no.
Okay. And what is the most strange moment, the most weird breakfast? You know, maybe here in Colombia, or if you have watched some TV program.
I think that it can be the English breakfast.
What is the English breakfast?
I think that it is with beans, eggs. It's like a bandeja paisa, but it's a little different. For me, it's strange.
Okay, yes. Yes, I don't know if someone of you have been in Mexico, but they usually eat beans. They usually eat tortillas in all the meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and sometimes they add too much icy or spicy food in the breakfast, and I don't like that. Do you like Kiara, Mexican food?
It looks interesting. I would taste it, but if I'm where I know they eat everything very spicy, and I don't know if my body is comfortable with that.
Yes, they like spicy food, and even in the breakfast they eat that kind of food. I like spicy, but I don't think I can take it in the breakfast. Sorry, Ingrid.
Yes.
Okay, if for example, if you stay at a hotel and there is a buffet, you're going to take your breakfast. What do you usually choose?
I normally take the American breakfast. It depends if I am in the in a Caribbean hotel, I always take arepa huevo or those kind of food, costeña. But normally I take black coffee, eggs, and I add some ingredients like bread or arepa
Mhm.
if I find that. Waffles. I love the yuca waffles, but is normally the American breakfast.
Okay, and do you usually take some fruit in the breakfast?
Mm, no, I don't like the fruits in the breakfast. Neither the juice,
Yes, yes.
orange juice or anything like that. I like the fruits, but not in the breakfast.
Okay, what time do you usually take fruits?
What?
What time do you usually take fruits?
In the middle of the morning,
Okay.
around 10 or 11 a.m.
Okay. And Kiara, do you like or do you usually drink juices?
Uses for my breakfast.
No, all along the day. For example,
Of
when
course,
in the lunch, in the meal, you usually drink juice?
yes, especially in lunch.
Okay. But do you, and juice and bread, you like to eat juice and bread, no problem.
Yes, of course.
No, but I said that because
In combo
nowadays,
or
no,
or
no, it doesn't matter. But nowadays, there are too many people that talk about juice and bread and say that this food is very bad for our health. Juice and bread. What do you think about that?
if I'm honest, teacher, I didn't know that.
No,
No.
you didn't pay attention to that.
Yes, I have to pay attention.
Okay. What about you, Santiago? Have you read anything about the damage of bread and juice?
The damage of the bread and juice?
Yes.
I don't know what is that.
No?
No.
Okay, I don't know, but maybe I am too old. I am too worried about the food, and I have been reading something about that, and most nutritionists said that juice is bad, bread is bad for health, and I am worried about that. But you are very young, and you are not worried about that. You don't pay attention to that. Okay. And Erika,
Okay.
What about you? Have you read anything about the damage? Or...
I have listened about this this about the use is damage for the health.
Yes.
Uh, for me, the damage is for the sugar. But if you drink, for me, I think if you take the juice without sugar, you obtain the best of the fruit. And if you mix during the day with another fruits in portion in not juice is healthy for your health.
What I have read is that if you eat the fruit, the mango, the
Papaya.
watermelon, yes, it's good. But
Yeah.
if you drink the mango juice, the watermelon juice is not good for health. And bread, they say that the flours and there are some ingredients that the bread has, and they are bad for health. So that's a homework for you. You have to read about that.
And the bread, in that case, I changed the bread every day with masa madre, no sé cómo decirlo.
Okay, yes. Nowadays we can find breads made with masa madre, yes. And they
Yes,
say
bread
that is good
made
for health.
yes. And that's it. And is what is healthy for your for you
Okay.
of this way.
Yes. Samuel. Samuel,
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
when you travel, maybe you are going to fly to Cartagena, and you are at a hotel. What do you usually order for breakfast? The traditional one, or do you like to try something new?
Yes, maybe to taste what new breakfast we can learn, or yes, learn what they eat there.
Okay, yes, that's interesting. It's important to try or to taste new
Yes.
things, no? To taste new things. Uh, mm, what 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 fruits do you like?
The most of them really I like to eat
Most
a
of them?
lot.
Okay. What are the traditional fruits there in your city?
No, that is maybe from here that we can find it are like peaches, orange, lemons. I don't know more.
Okay. Santiago.
Yeah, teacher.
Where are you? Okay. Santiago, when you are going to take your lunch, you have some specific time to do it?
Sometimes I have a specific time, but generally is at the 1 p.m. or 2 p.m.
Okay, but I said lunch or breakfast? My question. I'm sorry.
You said lunch.
Okay, no, breakfast, sorry, breakfast.
Breakfast. I think 9 p.m. or 10.
Okay, Ingrid, do you drink or do you eat? No, or do you drink or do you eat something before the breakfast?
Mhm.
I don't know,
Sometimes
maybe.
I take a little coffee with a calao,
Okay,
with a toast.
with a toast before the breakfast.
Before, sometimes it's not
Okay,
always. It's not my all. It's not all the days. All days.
all the days. Okay, we have 7 days in a week. From those 7 days, how many times do you eat eggs, Ingrid?
7 days.
7 days?
Yes.
Okay,
I
every day.
I can't think about a breakfast without eggs.
Okay, I have been reading, and many nutritionists say that eggs are the best protein. Are the best protein we can find. It's better than meat, than anything. And we have always take eggs in the breakfast, in the lunch, in the dinner. It's very,
Mm.
very important.
Okay, it's a good
And
information.
it's very healthy. It's very healthy because a few years ago, many people said that eggs were not good for health. No? But nowadays they say that eggs are very healthy. Kiara,
Sí, señor.
do you drink water or something else before the breakfast?
Before breakfast, fruit, usually, papaya or apple.
Fruit.
Always,
You
if yes,
fruit before the breakfast.
yes.
Okay. Why? Why do you take fruit before the breakfast?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Why do you take fruit before the breakfast? Is there any reason to do that, or you like it?
Because I like it, and after my yoga, I ate it fruit because I don't want to take breakfast in the moment I finish my yoga. So I try to eat something like slight.
Okay, so when you get up, or after you get up, you do yoga.
Yes, and
How
I
long?
start to
How long?
how long I eat it 1 hour.
1 hour. Okay, and before the yoga, you didn't take, or you don't take anything. You don't drink anything.
I drink water with, I don't know how I say that. It's almond, I think.
Almonds, yes.
And I eat it before start with my yoga. But I try to don't drink a lot of water because that's bad for in the moment when I'm good doing yoga.
Okay. Erika,
Hi.
do you drink, or do you eat something before the breakfast?
Before, no,
No?
nothing.
No. Okay, so the first food.
Maybe water, I don't know.
And do you do sport, Erika?
I usually make um, I usually go to the gym.
But do you go in the mornings, in the afternoon, at nights?
I change, depends, depends of the day. But I usually go to the gym in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Okay, after lunch.
Yes.
or later,
At 5 or 6 p.m.
Okay, and when you finish your gym, you go home and you eat. You take your meal.
Yes.
Okay. And do you have any allergies related to food, Erika?
Excuse me?
Do you have any allergies related to food?
No. Allergies? No. Allergies?
Okay.
No. Some people have allergies to the bread, no?
Yes. Yes, there are some cases. There are people who have allergies to bread, to sausage. I have a relative who has allergies to egg. I don't know.
Eggs? Ah,
Yes. It's not very common, but he has that kind of allergy. And I think that's a big problem because when we go to take the breakfast, we always think about eggs.
yes, and the eggs in the sport world, they says that the eggs are an excellent protein
Yes, that's right.
for the sports.
Okay, guys, so we have finished for today. We have talked too much about food, and I am a little hungry. I'm going to look for my lunch right now. So that's all for today. See you next Thursday at 7 p.m. It was a pleasure as always. See you guys and have a good day.
Thank you, teacher. Have a nice day.
Thank you,
Okay,
teacher.
bye-bye.